Empathy and security. Rebuilding Nigeria from inside out. Now, we can say empathy is a powerful but often overlooked tool in times of insecurity. While laws, intelligence, and enforcement form visible armor of security, empathy acts as a silent shield, quietly strengthening relationships, reducing tensions, and building trust between citizens, communities, and authorities. Now, in moments of fear, or will I say uncertainty, empathy helps people feel heard, respected, and supported. It prevents misunderstandings from escalating, encourages cooperation, and foster unity. Now, by simply listening, acknowledging concerns, and responding with compassion, leaders and communities create safer environments where people are more willing to share information, work together, and protect one another. Now, in essence, the word empathy does not replace security measures, but it reinforces them. It harmonizes responses, stabilizes emotions, and strengthens resilience, making it a vital shield in challenging times. Hello and welcome to Insight Today. I am Jumai Manson. Today it's all about, like I said, empathy. I am being joined by Amara Ezediniru. She is a workforce optimization expert. Stay tuned. Do not go anywhere. That human angle topic on family, marriage, peer pressure, drug and substance abuse, societal issues, women and children, and so much more. Now, it's crucial to approach these subjects with empathy and understanding. These issues often intertwine with societal norms and can lead to tough conversations. It is important to create a safe space for dialogue where individuals can share their experiences without fear or judgment. I am Jumai Manson. Join me every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on the program Insight Today on Global Television. Welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is Insight Today on Global Television. And if you're wondering, Jumai, what do you mean by empathy and security, rebuilding Nigeria from inside out? Well, empathy plays a very vital role when it comes to insecurity. Yes, like I mentioned before, it is powerful but often overlooked. It's an overlooked tool in times of insecurity. Now, like I said, I am being joined by a very good friend of mine, Amara Ezediniru. She is a workforce optimization expert. And Amara, it's great to have you on Insight Today. How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you, Jumai. It's always a pleasure to be here. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Now, we're talking about empathy, security, and rebuilding Nigeria inside out. Now, when we spoke about this, I'm just wondering, how does empathy contribute to security and stability in times of crisis? You know, when someone says, when you hear empathy, you hear it from a woman. A woman is she has empathy. She's, she's subtle. But putting it in insecurity, how does it tally along?
Well, we have to realize that people behave the way they understand the world, the way they think the world should be. You know, between yesterday and today, I traveled from Kaduna to Abuja, and with every sense of respect, I saw children, 3, 4, 5 years old, I don't know what they were doing with some young women in that barren land. If you're on the way from Kaduna to Abuja, you see them, I don't know, going, coming. I'm asking myself, who is raising these children? What kind of life are they being given? Mm-hmm. So our girls that are kidnapped and they get pregnant, the children, when they arrive, how are they raised? They are continuously going to be raised by these kidnappers. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Okay, and then these kidnappers whose facts have become the way they are for reasons best known to them, we raise them with a stony heart, if you ask me. So empathy is, for me, is asking where these people coming from, not their state of origin. What is influencing their thought pattern? How come they think the way they think? And so you want to approach security, yes, while you're covering it, while we are shooting and arresting, you want to go and resolve the problem as much as possible from the root cause. For people, it was hunger that drove them into a lifestyle that they can't even explain, you know? So let's go, as much as we are warring, we have to war because that's where we are right now. We also need to be thinking ahead to say, how can we put a full stop to this? I hope I got your question.
Yeah, you did. Now, from the slog, we said rebuilding Nigeria from inside out. Now, how do you think you and I, as an individual, looking away from insecurity, which is there and all of that, but how do you think you and I can actually build Nigeria? I know we always say the government, but as individuals in the society, in a democratic country, for instance, and then we say to ourselves, how do you think we can go about it when it comes to making a difference?
Okay, I like this question. I think we all need to start seeing Nigeria as ours. I hear a lot of people, do stuff as if they are strangers to this country. Everybody is mindful of me, myself, mine. I need us to start thinking beyond me to thinking about Nigeria. That thing I do in my corner has a way of affecting the next person, and it's affecting the next person. All right, so we need to use what we call the system theory approach to start seeing Nigeria as a holistic entity. Not that I am one individual living in Nigeria. It's beyond living in Nigeria. I am Nigerian, so I must protect Nigeria. All right. If you start thinking like that, you see that you will make security your concern. And security is not just that you're looking out for your neighbor to catch a thief. No, you will be concerned when a child is not going to school and instead doing nothing all day. You'll be concerned when somebody cheats you in the market. So this is 5 naira. The person tells you 20 naira in the name of bargaining. Because you can start beginning from 20 naira and end up at 18 naira. So the person still cheated you. So you call out. You will do something when you come to a shop to pay and the person says, oh, our POS is bad, pay into this account number. And then the person gives you her personal account number instead of the what do you call it? The shop's account number. Right?
Yes.
That's how it continues. That's just how it continues. Before you know it, there's the what do you call it? The cycle continues. People are not looking at Nigeria as theirs. They just protect their properties, their personal properties. But you're supposed to be protecting Nigeria as a country, not just your car, not just your shoe and your jewelry and your office. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. So in your own words, it's about looking out for each other. We have to look out and do the right thing when it comes to being in the marketplace, when it comes to being with individuals in the society, just doing the right thing and following through with it, right?
Absolutely. But you have to have a mindset of Nigeria is ours.
Oh, yes.
Nigeria is my home.
Not for them, it's ours. Not for other individuals, it's ours.
Correct.
Right. Now, still talking about empathy. Now, in what ways can empathy improve communication between security agencies and the public? I think there's a sort of bridge when it comes to issues of security. People are scared because they don't want to be roped in it. So how does communication come in when it comes to empathy? How can empathy improve that communication gap?
Okay, we may not be able to exhaust that right now, but I can say that first of all, when you're communicating, you have to be sure that what you intended to say is what you said, and that's what the person you were intending to say it to got. A lot of times when we communicate, we're saying, "Oh well, whatever they make of it, that's it for them." You have a duty to make sure that what they make of it is what you intended for them to make of it. So you communicate clearly, you communicate repeatedly, and you communicate and watch out that the actions that people are putting up, right?
Yes.
It's in tandem with the communication. When you tell someone come and the person is actually going, know that there's problem with your communication. Okay? So you have to be intentional about it, and you cannot give up. You have to keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it until you get it.
You know what, Amara? You know, when we hear insecurity, what comes to mind is guns, we hear tear gas, we hear security agencies and individuals. Why is we do not put empathy up front? We don't look at it. We don't want to look at the word empathy at all. Now, why is empathy considered a silent shield rather than an obvious security tool to curb and nip in the bud insecurity?
Oh, well, you know, empathy, truthfully, is seeing, looking at somebody and feeling the person's pain. It's saying to yourself, why is this person behaving like this? You know, you're not saying it because you want to justify wrong behavior. You're saying it because you want a holistic view so that you can know how to deal. All right? So that you know how to deal with the circumstance. So a lot of times it is not common, really. It is not common. So it's important, otherwise we will not be able to cohabit. And if we're not cohabiting well, what exactly can we achieve? We can achieve more together.
Do you think we have a lot of barrier when it comes to unity? Like, you know, we say unity and progress because, you know, that's part of our slogan as a country. But do you think we really have that bond of unity? If you look at it critically with all of the happenings, do you think we have it? Because in order to rebuild Nigeria from the inside out, unity is in the forefront. So do you think we really have it as individuals in Nigeria?
It's not a destination. We're not going to come up and say we have unity right now. It's a journey.
Yes, it is.
Nigeria is coming from a lot of turbulence. You know, for me, unity is a journey that we will continue to work towards, right? So we've made a lot of progress, correct? But we still have a whole lot more to make. And I think we are now going to become a little more intentional about it. For example, I would wish we stop asking people, what's your state of origin? I wish we will stop teaching IRK and CRK in schools.
Why? Why, Amara? Why?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because every time we do things that express our differences, then we are not fostering unity. We should focus all our energy on things that bring us together instead of things that divide us. When you ask people state of origin, that's division. Every time you ask me questions that remind me that I'm different from Jumai, I am not fostering unity. Instead, I'm separating us because it makes me the things I wasn't even thinking about.
But Amara, what happens to there's unity, unity in diversity? What happens in that? They say there's a slogan that says variety is the spice of life. So how can we have a touch of this, a touch of this, and a touch of that? So I don't understand.
We already know we're different, right?
Yes.
We all know we're different. I speak a language that you don't speak.
True.
I'm short and you are tall. You are fair and I'm dark. We already know that. We have differences in taste and all. We already know. What we're saying, we cannot continue to romance things that join us. If you go to Rwanda today, they no longer talk about pride. They no longer talk about tribe, right? Why? They're putting all their energy into things that bring them together instead of things that divide them. We already know in Nigeria, tribe is a problem for us. We haven't been able to manage it. Religion is a problem for us. We haven't been able to manage it. Every little problem, we divide against these lines. So, what can we do to foster unity? Because we talked about unity here, and that's why I'm talking about it. You now remember when I talked about empathy being that you want to go back to what the root cause. You want to say, where are these people coming from? What's making people behave like this? So you want to go back, okay, so these things are causing us problems instead of uniting us. And since we've decided to stay together, let us now remove these walls, because that's what they are. That's what they are. And, you know, it's not like religion will not be talked about. It will be talked about in our religious houses. All right? So if I was born in Kano and I'm 50 years of age, I was born in Kano. 50 years later, you say I can't contest in Kano? That's the only state I know. That's the only place I know. Then you remind
that's
me
home to you.
You know? So those are the things that divide us. We cannot continue to romance with things that divide us. That's what I'm saying.
I completely understand. Now, looking at all of this, now individuals who are placed in leadership positions, like who are heads, community leaders, fathers, you know, teachers, bosses in the office, government parastatal, the president, the minister, all of these encompass. Now, how can these leaders demonstrate empathy, you know, in addressing individuals in the community or the sector in which they find themselves in order in rebuilding Nigeria from inside out? How can that work?
First of all, you are going to talk to yourself, because you see, how did Dora Queenly say this? He said, how she say something starts with you. We're all going to talk to ourselves individually, first of all. Then, before we start talking to others, besides talking, we're going to, each of us, model this lifestyle that we desire for our nation, and then teach the same lifestyle to others. We are going to make it our campaign, our message, our gospel, if you want to say that. And it's something we have to continuously, consistently preach every day. Breakfast, lunch, supper. That as you are, I am from the East, for example, and when nothing gets on my nerves, I will deal with the problem we have instead of saying you. Is it not because you're from the North? You. Is it not because
exactly. Yeah. Removing those walls and barriers.
They are big barriers. So we're going to start with ourselves and start promulgating these. And I know that if we're deliberate about it, it's a matter of 10 years. Nigeria will be solid.
All right. All right. Amara says if we're deliberate about it, Nigerians will be solid. And I totally agree. Let's go on a very quick break now. Insight Today continues shortly. Stay tuned.
That human angle topic on family, marriage, peer pressure, drug and substance abuse, societal issues, women and children, and so much more. Now, it's crucial to approach these subjects with empathy and understanding. These issues often intertwine with societal norms and can lead to tough conversations. It is important to create a safe space for dialogue where individuals can share their experiences without fear or judgment. I am Jumai Manson. Join me every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on the program Inside Today on Global Television.
Right, you're welcome back. And if you're just tuning in, this is Inside Today, talking about empathy and security, rebuilding Nigeria from inside out. And like I mentioned, I'm not doing it alone. I have my very good friend Amara Ezedinirush, is an a workforce optimization expert, and she's with me. Hi, Amara, how are you doing today?
I'm glad we're back.
All right, we are back. Now, we're back and better. Now, still talking about empathy and security, rebuilding Nigeria from inside out. You know, Nigeria, my country, Nigeria, we love. We have to be patriotic, don't you think? Like you said at the beginning.
of course we have to be patriotic. We're not going to be mouthing these things. You're not going to be saying one thing and doing another.
Very true. Very
you
true.
love Nigeria, it will show in what you do, it will show your utterances consistently. You know, there are people that call Nigeria bad names. In fact, most recently, every time I'm talking about Nigeria, I will always say something like, oh, our beautiful nation is.
Of course.
Oh, we need a miracle in our beautiful nation. Regardless of the situation, you are saying what exactly that you want to see. Okay, so you're not going to be patriotic because you read it. You know, you were forced to read it where they wrote it. You are going to come to terms with it in your heart and leave it out.
Exactly. Now let's talk about empathy now, and of course misunderstanding. Like I mentioned, I always put it, you know, for societal issues, when the misunderstandings will come, whether you're in the workplace, whether with your spouse, whether with kids, whether with misunderstandings will definitely come. Now, what role does empathy play in preventing misunderstandings and conflict escalation?
Okay. Empathy helps you to ask yourself, what is the destination? What is the desired destination? That's what empathy helps you to ask.
Okay.
All right? Our desired destination is conflict resolution. Our desired destination is to work together to live in harmony. Then you ask, this thing I'm doing, will it lead us to harmony? All right. It's empathy that makes you to question yourself. What can I do differently? All right? Why must I insist on my rights? Empathy makes you introspective. Empathy helps you to create policies, rules, and regulations that reduce conflict instead of escalating it. Empathy makes you to step into another person's shoes and say, let me stand on your side of the divide and see what view you are seeing. Because, you know, if you stand at the back of an elephant, you will see a tail. And somebody who stands in front will see a trunk. So empathy makes you say, let me go to your side of the divide. And when you get there, you say, now I understand. Standing here, it's difficult to see a trunk. Okay, what can I do so that this guy can see the trunk like I see it? So that's what empathy does for you. Anybody who is empathetic, there will be conflicts for the person. The person is going to experience conflicts, but the person is going to be asking him or herself questions. This thing I'm doing, will it build goodwill? Will it foster relationships? You know, is it the truth, this thing that I'm doing? It brings to mind the Rotary 4-week test. You know?
Okay.
Rotarians have 4 questions they ask themselves. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? That's what empathy makes you do. You ask the question, is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? I mean, this sort of questions is not saying who is right or wrong.
Exactly.
It's looking at the greater good of all.
All right, now, Amara, I really want you to just speak something when it comes to empathy and, of course, you know, rebuilding Nigeria from the inside out. Just say something, how empathy can go a long way in bringing us together and uniting us as one, not minding your tribe, your language, your roots, knowing that we are Nigerians and we are patriotic. Say something to us in 30 seconds.
For that, I have to tell everybody that in another 20 years, we're going to feel the impact of what is happening right now in the lives of all the children who are growing up. A lot of children are growing up in fear. People are getting traumatized.
Yes.
I tell you, the other day I slept and I had a nightmare. You know, I saw a boy that was molested or lynched on, and he was killed in that dream. And I woke up afraid. So whatever is happening now is causing trauma in people's lives, whether we like it or not. People are watching videos of people being killed every day. So before you see such video, you don't want to watch. Today, everybody is watching it, and even you're eating and watching it. Before, you couldn't eat and watch such a thing. So we will see the impact of this in years to come. Therefore, we must start growing our empathy skills. All of us. We are going to start seeing people behave in a certain way in the workplace, behave in a certain way in the school, behave in a certain way in the market. And these people are going to become husbands. They're going to become wives. They are going to become bosses. They're going to become workers. They're going to become political leaders. All right. So if we don't start growing our empathy skills from now, we're going to have more conflict instead of no more conflict. All right. When the mayhem looks like it has abated, people are now going to start dealing with each other. You know, mistrust will be on the rise.
All right.
What we perceive as misbehavior will be on the rise. So let's start, building our empathy skills.
Yeah. Like in your words, I'm going to pick from your word. Let's start building our empathy skills. Thank you so much, Amara Ezediniru. She is a workforce optimization expert. And thank you for being a part of Insight Today and sharing your wheels of experience with us. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure, Jemai. It's always a pleasure.
All right. Now, in a world where security challenges continue to evolve, empathy remains an essential yet underrated force for building trust, strengthening relationship, and fostering unity. Nigeria, our pride. With Nigeria and being a Nigerian, it gives us that sense of belonging if we unite and come together as one. Now, empathy and security, rebuilding Nigeria from the inside out, takes you and I to make that difference. Remember, Nigeria is our home. Nigeria is our pride. Thank you all so much for being a part of Insight Today. I am Jumai Manson. Have an amazing day ahead. Bye-bye.